what was really clear listening to Strive is that Dean Hales is the boss. There was constant requests for him to comment or ask for his thoughts. I've sat through hundreds of meetings just the same with board directors of businesses, and it happens in corporate companies where the boss has total control and employees really can't make decisions without getting that approval from the leader. The second bit that stood out to me when I was listening to Strive was the facilitator of the meeting was Charles. Again, my experience, you could see at the end of each speaker, Charles would be the one that jumped in, which basically, from my experience, suggested he was policing what was said and the timings of the actual meeting. He would constantly defer to Dean. So you could even see the pecking order within the Hales family. At the end of, if Charles jumped in after a speaker, he always, at every single time, asked Dean, did he have any comments or what did he think? A third bit that I thought really struck me was, apart from probably Logan Curry, all the speakers displayed clear signs of nerves. So when they were first speaking, this could be a sort of speed of how they were talking. It could be some jitters in the voice. So you could hear them clear signs of nerves. And again, to me, what that said was, we're a little bit wary. We're in the presence of the boss. So you've got Dean and Charles there, and they're really wary of what they're saying. And then I think the other bit that I noticed was how often Dean just interrupted to make a point. Again, a real telltale sign of being the boss. And as I said earlier, it was interesting that if Charles interrupted as the facilitator, that in every opportunity and every occasion, he then gave Dean the chance to comment before handing back to the speaker. And I think just generally, as an observer of somebody who's not been in the Brethren, as I say, having worked for large corporate companies for 25 years of my life, it was so corporate in the way it was done. It didn't feel like a church at all. There was very little. It was all about corporate strategies, a lot of Stephen Covey's habits, and it just did not feel like a church in any way whatsoever. And what I found really interesting at the end was that they also did a little bit in there around the PBCC. So actually, I would say, was it a business with a little bit of church? Well, I could say it's definitely not a church with a little bit of business.